What's going on, everybody? It's Stas here. Welcome back to another video. So a decent day in the stock market today, guys. S&P 500 up 0.2%. Dow Jones also up 0.2%. And the Nasdaq 100 pretty much broke even as the Russell 2000 went up 0.1% on the day. And in this video, we're going to be talking more about the stock market, breaking down some technicals, going over a bunch of stocks that I'm looking to buy right now. And I want to share with you guys what I've been doing in the stock market, stocks I own right now, and in general, where my head is at as a trader and as an investor. So if you all find value in the video, hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We're so close to that goal. And make sure to also get your 4 free stocks from WeBull down below, valued up to $1,600. All you have to do is deposit $100, and you literally get 4 free stocks. So let's get into it, guys. S&P 500 didn't do that well when it comes to the closing price. Again, up only 0.2%. Not the best of days out there. But when you look at the price action for the day, it tells a completely different story, right? So before we talk about that, let's take a look at what happened yesterday to remind you all what happened yesterday, right? We hit an all-time high at 3680, and I've been talking about this on the channel. The second S&P 500 breaks 3645, which was that old all-time high, I think we're going to explode. I thought, and it ended up happening, I thought it was going to explode a lot higher, right? And we broke 3645, we rallied up to 3680 roughly, hit that all-time high, and notice what happened today. Take a look at this. We actually pulled down and we held 3645, old all-time high, which was a resistance. We held it as a new support. This is so key, guys. This is very bullish price action here, right? And again, 0.2%, not the best of days for the S&P, but the fact that we gapped down this morning, we held 3645, and we rallied off of that low for the rest of the day, that old all-time high, we rallied off it for the rest of the day. This is very bullish, and you guys can see it here on the 5-day, 5-minute, right? We pulled down, held 3640 literally on the dot, and we rallied for the rest of the day from there. We also held that 180 SMA here on the 5-day, 5-minute at a higher low. If I pull back here on the hourly chart, you guys can see we traded above the 50 SMA on the hourly chart. So this is very bullish price action on the S&P, and it leads me to believe that, hey, we might hit another all-time high maybe tomorrow, maybe Friday, maybe even next week, just based on the bullish price action in general. And let's just say, hey, maybe it didn't hold 3645. Let's say we broke 3645 on the bottom side. That would be bearish price action, right? But we don't have to worry about that because that obviously didn't happen. So S&P is looking very bullish. I'm loving the fact that it held 3645. And SPY here, which is an ETF that tracks the S&P, what we can see here is we actually broke 366, which was a resistance I've been looking at here for weeks on the SPY ETF, and we actually held it today as support. We closed above it at 366.80, and we're actually trading right around 366.80 even in the after hours session. So for tomorrow, what I'm looking for is here on the 5-day, 5-minute SPY, are we going to take out this 367.68 all-time high that was hit yesterday, right? And I'm not watching that only for tomorrow. Quite honestly, I'm watching this for tomorrow, the next day, next week, really for whatever day it does test, right? So we'll see what happens. If 367 breaks, we might be going 368, 370 here on SPY, and maybe even higher. And again, this correlates directly to the S&P 500. And yeah, if you guys didn't know that, well, you know it now because I just told you, right? SPY tracks the S&P 500. So watch 367.80, and when it comes down to the Dow Jones Industrial Average, we closed under that infamous level that I've been talking about here, 29,900, right? If I pull up this 4-hour chart, what you guys can see, actually, no, let's go to that hourly chart. That's a bit better. What you guys can see here is, okay, We got rejected yesterday at about 30,000. We failed breaking out and hitting a new all-time high. We sold off. We broke under 29,900, making it a resistance. But we're actually holding this little uptrend here that you can see stemming back from the 19th of this month, right? We actually held that all day. We gapped down to about 29,700. We held 29,700 as support at a higher low, and we pretty much filled the gap up to 29,900, but we didn't break 29,900. So we're kind of in this ascending triangle right here on the Dow Jones, if you guys can see it, right? There's a big wall at 29,900, and we're actually making higher lows into that resistance. So for tomorrow, for Friday, for next week, whenever it happens, I'm looking to see, okay, are we going to break 29,900? Do we fill the gap up to the all-time high? Do we break the all-time high? And quite honestly, I think if we break 29,900, we're probably going to go hit all-time highs here on the Dow Jones. That's kind of my gut feeling here, and that's kind of what the charts are telling me. That's if 29,900 does end up breaking. And when it comes down to the good old Nasdaq 100, it broke even. It literally only went up 0.01%, which is pretty much break even here, guys. And what we're seeing is we hit an all-time high yesterday, 12,510. And we're struggling right around that all-time high. And it makes sense, right? Because the Nasdaq 100, it's a bit overbought here on the 4-hour chart. Very overbought. RSI is at about 77, right? And I wouldn't be surprised if we got rejected here tomorrow and maybe we saw a bit of a retracement on the Nasdaq 100. Like I said, even in yesterday's video, I'll say it again, right? Maybe we pull down to 12,300 and then test that at a higher low and rip out of 12,500. I think that could happen here on the Nasdaq, or we might just break straight out of 12,500 tomorrow without even pulling down first. Either of these two options could end up playing out. But at this point, the charts are not lying. We're seeing a bit of resistance. We're struggling at 12,510. So I'm watching the futures very heavily, tomorrow, tonight, tomorrow morning, to see where those are trading at. Are they gapping up? Are large, tech stocks gapping up, which obviously if they are gapping up, that's going to push the Nasdaq 100 up because it's made of all tech stocks, right, guys? All the big prominent tech stocks out there. So keep an eye on the futures, the large tech stocks tomorrow, and in general here, what large cap companies are doing, because that's going to tell us, okay, are we breaking out of these resistance points on the Nasdaq, S&P, Dow Jones? Are we going to be going higher? Or are they gapping down? Large stocks are going down, which could indicate, hey, we might be going lower here in the short term. So let me know your thoughts down below. Those are some thoughts I have, some key levels I'm looking at in the overall markets. Let me know your thoughts down below. Are you buying stocks? Are you selling stocks? Are you just sitting in cash? I would love to know. And when it comes down to what I personally did today, guys, it was a pretty active day in terms of one stock for me. And that one stock here is NIO, guys. NIO. And let me tell you, this stock was crazy, off the walls today. And yesterday, the past week, honestly, it's been off the wall. We hit a high at about $58. When was that exactly? Let me take a look here. That was on the 23rd of November. Hit that $58 high, and since then we saw a pull down to $40, $38.39 pre-market today. That was a drop of about 30%. So a 30% retracement here in NIO. And if you guys remember yesterday, I actually picked up some NIO at about 47. Let me look at my notes here, guys. What is it? 47.10, my little initial position there. Added more at the close of the market, right before the close of the market, at about 45.15, bringing my average cost to about 46-ish, right? And I actually added even more to NIO today. I picked up some pre-market at $40.62 here in my notes. I'm reading this, 40.62. Picked up some pre-market, and then I bought again as it dropped down at the market open at 39.65, right? So I actually bought 2 times today, 2 times yesterday, and my average cost after today's average down, the averaging down in my 2 buys today, my average cost became right around $42.30. So yeah, I mean, this thing's been all over the place, right? I was down originally from 47, 45. I was obviously down as the stock got to 38. But the reason I bought more is because here on the 4-hour chart, $38, $39 was right around this 180 SMA here 4-hour chart, right? And honestly, it was way oversold, and I didn't see it going much lower than this 180 SMA. And you guys can see, I mean, 38, 39 also held back in the beginning of November. So I saw this as a pretty decent risk reward for me to add more to it, and I added more to it. Brought my average cost down to 42.30, and what do you see here on the intraday chart? Well, it went bananas, right? From 38.40, it went all the way up to about $48 at the close. It saw a 20% rally intraday. That is unbelievable. And I actually ended up locking in half of my position at $46.50. Right around here it was midday. And I'm letting the rest of my shares ride out because honestly, I think NEO does have a little bit more upside here. Maybe we do see a little retracement tomorrow down to $44, maybe $45. You guys can see here after hours, the stock is trading down a little bit. But overall, I think it has more upside potential, right? And what you guys are seeing here on the 15-minute chart, let me pull this up. We are seeing a bit of resistance on the 180 SMA here, 15-minute chart, 5-day 15-minute chart, which is where it's getting rejected here after hours. So ideally, I'd like to see a break out of there to lock in the rest of the position. Ideally maybe from $50 to $53. I'd like to get out of NEO. But overall, that's what I did when it comes to NEO, guys. A lot of buying, a lot of volatility. It went literally 20%. And I figured, hey, it's a good time to lock in half the position at 46.50 and let the rest ride out. Because again, I do think there is a little more upside here. I think the sell-off was overblown, and the market obviously thinks that as well because it got down to $38, hit that 180 SMA 4-hour chart, and it rallied off of that like clockwork. So that's what I did today, guys. NEO, I'm still in some other swings. You guys know that. Facebook did well today, up $1, up 0.3%. Facebook, I bought in a couple days ago at about, $277.50, locked in half the position yesterday. Alibaba's another Chinese stock I'm holding. I'm down a little bit on this one. Got in originally at $269, locked in half the profits a couple days ago at about $280. And another one I'm in, guys, is Workhorse. Oh man, Workhorse. This is a risky play right here. And I've said before on the channel, right? This stock is riding on the USPS contract, right? If the stock doesn't get it, the company doesn't get it, the stock's going to get hit big time. And if it gets delayed, it's going to get hit big time. And that's the risk that you have to take, and you have to understand this, wrap your head around this when you do get into Workhorse stock. And I fully understand this, guys, and that's why I'm not in it with a huge amount of my portfolio, obviously, right? Because again, it's probably the riskiest out of the ones that I personally own right now. So thankfully, I locked in half the position a couple days ago when it ran up to $30. You guys remember that I locked in at about $28 there. And originally I was in my average, it still is my average, in at about $22, right? So from 22 locked in at about 28. Thankfully, I did that, right? And this is why I always preach here, guys, lock in those profits because you never know what's going to happen, right? And we got hit with the news yesterday, and you guys saw my live reaction. It was down after hours. I had no idea what was going on, but I looked into it, and yeah, the USPS contract announcement, the Postal Service says it expects to reach a contract with one or more of the teams bidding for the business in the federal government's fiscal quarter 2 2021, which works out to be Q1 2021. So originally the contract was supposed to come out in October, right? You guys remember that? It didn't. That pushed the stock down from $30 to $15. And then they said, okay, it's going to come out in December. The stock started rallying again from $15 to $30. And now they pushed it again. The stock's cratering. And honestly, guys, I'm holding on to my shares at $22 because this, believe it or not, could be an opportunity to pick up some shares into the anticipation of the announcement in Q1, right? You guys see the pattern playing out here. I mean, it sells off, and then it kind of rallies into the anticipation of the announcement. So I wouldn't be surprised if this does rally into Q1. And I actually got an email from ARK. I actually signed up to their email list. And the thing here is, guys, they give out their buys and their sells every single, I think it's every day. I get their email every day. And let me pull up this. I'm pulling it up right now. Workhorse, they actually bought some today. Yeah, 12/2, that's today. They bought 153,000 shares of Workhorse today. So I'm not buying or holding because, ARK is buying, right? I mean, I don't buy based on other people's buying, but to see them buying in, I guess you can say that's a decent sign in their faith, when it comes to Workhorse, right? So just keep an eye on it, right? $20, this has been an old resistance. Seems like it's holding as support right now. I mean, we rallied despite going down 20%. I mean, we rallied for the majority of the day now. Not really rallied. We really consolidated. Now we're rallying into the close. We're at about $21 here after hours. So check out Workhorse, guys. I think there is some potential there into the announcement of this USPS contract. If we get it right, the anticipation of it, we might see a rally into it. And I'm still in Apple, AAPL. This is one that I love, obviously. I mean, I've been in this one for a while now. We call the breakout, right? We call the breakout out of this wedge. It's doing very well there. I'm in at about $112. SLV is another one, a little silver play there. I have some exposure to silver that I'm personally in. And Electronic Arts, good old EA, guys. It is doing well. Today up almost 2%, up $2.30. We broke out of the 129 resistance today. We actually closed at about 129.50. And we overall, we've been breaking out of these moving averages, right? Both the 180, the 50 SMA, we broke 124. And this has been what I've been calling out, right? We called out if it breaks 124, it's going to fill up to 129. Now, after hours, it's up to about $130.30, which is great stuff here. So that's what I'm personally in, guys. NEO, Facebook, Alibaba, Workhorse, Apple, SLV, and EA. Now, drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you guys are up to. I would love to know, as always. And yeah, if you guys are enjoying the video, also hit that like button for me and subscribe to the channel because, again, we're trying to get 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So let's talk about some stocks now that I'm actually looking at that did pretty well today, and I like the setups of these stocks. Number one is PayPal, ticker symbol PYPL. PayPal is down about $8 to $10 from the high yesterday. That's a profit opening of about 4%. And if we pull back to the 4-hour chart, what we're noticing is a huge breakout of the resistance, right? I mean, PayPal was in this range between 185 support and 210 resistance ever since the end of July. I mean, we've been trading in this horizontal channel like clockwork, right? And a couple days ago, we broke out of 210. We hit the all-time high at 220, and now we're pulling down to retest 210, old resistance, as a new support. And honestly, I think 210 can hold. And if it does, that's where we could see a rally back to 220, which again offers about 4, maybe even 5-6% if it breaks out of 220 here on PayPal. And one thing to note, if it breaks under 210, that's not going to be that great of a sign. I mean, we could be going down 207. That could be a level it consolidates that. Heck, we might even go down 50 SMA here on the 4-hour chart, maybe at about 204. But either way, this is very bullish. I think 210 could be a great entry on PayPal. I'm loving it. And Spotify is actually a pretty similar setup. It's ran up a little bit more than PayPal. It is. I mean, you can't really argue it. It is more overbought. I mean, we broke out of this horizontal channel. We hit 290, rallied all the way to 330, up 12% today. And yeah, it's overbought. I wouldn't necessarily chase it here, but if we end up pulling down maybe to 300, 310, that could be a nice little dip buy here on Spotify into the momentum. And I don't like tooting my own horn, guys, but we called this out a couple weeks ago, right? We called out Spotify in this channel. I believe I was calling it out when it was at 250, 260 at the support, and it played out beautifully. It filled the gap up to 290. Now we broke that level. We're in the almost mid 300s now. So yeah, this is a huge momentum play. Check out Spotify Upwork is another one. UPWK is down about $4 from its all-time high, down about 10%. And it seems like this could be a dip buy on Upwork, right? I mean, yeah, you could argue that it could go down to that 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart, which is at about $25, $26. But based on today's price action and the way it's looking here after hours, I would say otherwise, right? We are breaking out here on the 5-day, 5-minute. I mean, take a look at this, guys. If I draw this out for you all, this is pretty much a breakout. I mean, we're seeing them moving price action above the 50 and the 180 SMA. After hours here, we're seeing a huge green candle, and we're at about $33.10. So I think as long as this 5-day, 5-minute chart is showing upwards potential or upwards movement, shall I say, into the mid-30s, I think this could be a play back into the mid-30s, high 30s, maybe 36, maybe even higher, right? So watch out for Upwork. I think there is potential here on the dip. Palantir is another one, PLTR. This one got a short report from Citron. What was it, on Friday or something? Thursday, Friday. Ever since then, it's been getting crushed. It hit 33 last week. Now it's at about 20, 22.50. Got around to where Citron said they thought it would go to, $20. So this could be the bottom. Who knows, right? Right around this 50 SMA 4-hour chart. I mean, we're seeing here that it's holding that at a higher low right now. After hours, it's actually up to over $23. So, hey, maybe the bottom could be in here on Palantir. I think this could be a dip buy, and we have to wait. One thing we do have to wait for is on this 5-day, 5-minute. In my opinion, for confirmation, I'd love to see a break out of this little downtrend that I just drew and, maybe into $24, but anywhere from $24, $25, that could be breakout territory here on Palantir. So watch out for that one. I sure am. And another video game stock, you guys saw I'm in EA right now. Another one that I'm really loving here is Activision Blizzard, right? Ticker symbol ATVI. This is one that on the 4-hour chart, take a look at this setup. We're in this downwards channel, right? We've been trading within this thing like clockwork. We hit 90, hit a lower low at 76, popped to 82, lower low at 73, popped right now to about $79. And we can do one of two things here, right? We can either break out, which I hope for. I'm looking for that. I'm looking for the confirmation. I want to see the charts show this, right? We can break out into the 80 range, and if that does break out, this resistance on the channel does break out, we can see a nice spike higher, in my opinion. A lot of momentum could come in. Or if we get rejected here, we slowly get down to 77, 78, 76 even. This could be a short play down to the support of this channel here, maybe down to about 72, maybe $73. So this could be either or, right? A long play if we get into 80 and above, if we break the resistance of this channel, or a short play if we end up dumping below, let's say 78, 77, and we start going mid-70s, right? So either way, Activision is in play, in my opinion. I'm going to be watching it, but ideally, I like going long. I don't really like shorting stocks. That's not my game. I mean, I've done it before via put options, right? I mean, I'm not opposed to doing put options, but I much rather go long on stocks on setups that I like, on breakout setups that I like, and I think Activision could be setting up for that as we speak. So I'm actually just going to set an alert. Why not? At about, let's say, $81. Actually, no. Let's put it at 80.50, 80.5 here. Mark is at or above. Perfect. So if it goes above that point, actually, why did my alert go? Anyway, see, okay, let's just do 81. Why not? Okay, so if that goes above 81, it's going to show there, and I don't know why my alerts aren't working, but either way, guys, Activision, I'm looking at that. NVIDIA is another one here that I know I've been talking about these past couple of videos, and I'm not sure why this is not loading up here, but NVIDIA is one that is in a horizontal channel. There's something up with my internet here, guys. Oh, my goodness. Don't do this to me now, ThinkOrSwim. But, all right, there we go. Here we go, guys. There we go. NVIDIA is at a resistance right now, $540. And the crazy thing is, I know these charts without even looking at them. So even if my internet wasn't working, I can still tell you what's going on. That's the crazy part about it, guys. But 540 here is a resistance on NVIDIA, and I think it's going to break out eventually, one of these days. We have to wait for the breakout, but if 540 breaks, I'm thinking we could gap fill up maybe to the higher 570s, 580s, which gives us a good 6-7% profit upside here on NVIDIA. That's if 540 breaks. Big if there. And the last one here is CRM. I've been talking about this one a lot on the channel as well, and it got slammed today, 8.5% down. So me looking at this, okay, it's kind of a falling knife, no doubt about it, right? We're going lower, lower lows. We broke this uptrend here on the 4-hour chart. That's not too attractive, but I'm thinking we might see a relief rally, right? Whether it's from 220 up to 235, maybe from 220 to 245, I think a relief rally is coming. And what you guys notice is when stocks get very slammed down, we see relief rallies sometimes. Same thing as when the stocks go up a ton, they pull down. Both of these are healthy, right? When stocks go up, we see healthy pull downs. That's healthy. And when stocks go down a ton, we see relief rallies, which are healthy as well. So I think a relief rally could be in store here for CRM. And the last one, might as well throw one more in here, is Square, guys. Square is one that is interesting, right? We actually went to a low today at about 195. We held that as a higher low, popped up, and we closed above 200. But one thing I'm looking for here on the 5-day, 5-minute, guys, is 203. 203 needs to break. This overall resistance here, downtrend needs to break. And as indicated here by this arrow, I think if we do break this downtrend, we're going to be going higher on Square, maybe back to 210, 215. Those are some thoughts there. So if you guys found value in the video, I'm sure you did, hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. What are your thoughts on these stocks, my trades, the market update, the markets in general? Drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts. And don't forget to join our Discord chat, our Facebook group. Those are free of charge to get into. And also your 4 free stocks, guys. They're waiting for you. Link down below. All you have to do is deposit $100 and you get 4 free stocks valued up to $1,600. So I'll catch you all in the next video. Keep crushing the market. Stay safe out there, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate you all. Thanks again for watching. Peace out.